What's up, guys? So, I'm going to be talking about the process of transitioning, my process in particular, and the Danish process, and the Danish process of transitioning. So, the process of transitioning, if you want to, that is very different from individual to individual. But first off, at least for Danes, like myself, you start off going to your doctor, talking about what you feel like you do, then you get your blood tested, for hormone imbalance. If you're good to go, the doctor will refer you to one or three hospitals or specialists here in Denmark. For me and many other transgender teenagers, we got sent off to Copenhagen. And I live 4 hours away from Copenhagen, so I don't really mind it. I can just take a nap in the backseat of the car and we'll be there. But there are 4 conversations total, and the first one I had to wait an entire year for, which is regular for Danish people and Danish transgender teenagers and adults and adolescents. That is very common that you wait a year or so after coming out to go to your first conversation. But it's so worth it. The 1 year waiting time, it's so worth it. Just to move on forward in your transitioning to happiness. But personally, for myself, I've only gone through one. Where's my drink? But personally, for me, I've only been through one conversation, and it basically went so that my dad and I went to Copenhagen the night before to stay the night at a family's house. And in the morning we drove out to the sexological clinic in Copenhagen. And that was basically just a rep of the first conversation with your own personal doctor. The second conversation is a psychological evaluation where the doctor/specialist will first talk with you about the way you perceive gender identity and how you're experiencing it in your transition so far. The specialist will also talk to your parents. The specialist will also talk to your parents about how they feel about the whole thing, about how they feel about the transition, the fact that their child is transgender. They'll talk about that as well. And I'm going to the second conversation in August. So the third and fourth conversation is between you and the specialist. And your parents can come with you if you so desire. They talk more with you about what it means to be a boy/girl, how you perceive and describe yourself, and how it plays out in everyday life. How it shows itself in everyday life. You might be asked to fill out some questionnaires. You might be asked to fill out some questionnaires if applicable, if relevant. If relevant, they'll talk more about your experiences with sexuality. After the first 2 calls. After the first 2 conversations, you will be referred to a child and adolescent. Where am I? After the first 2 conversations, you will be referred to a child and adolescent psychiatric center. After the first 2 conversations, you will be referred to a child and adolescent psychiatric center. Parallel to those, you will get calls for the 3rd and 4th conversation on the sexological clinic. Also, after the first conversation, they will ask you about your height and weight. Me personally, I'm 5'3" and 167 pounds, which roughly translates to 1 meter and 63 centimeters and 76 kilos. I was told to lose 13 kilos or 28 pounds, or else I wouldn't be able to get my breast removed. And there's a ton of different ways to go about breast removal, or a mastectomy, as it is called in fancy doctor language. Of course, you'll have to start hormone therapy first, but of course you'll have to start hormone therapy before you get your mastectomy. After the mastectomy or the breast removal surgery, you can go on to get phalloplasty, where they take the urethra from your vagina and reroute it into a penis made from either the skin on your forearm or the skin on your inner thigh. If you choose the skin on your forearm as a donor site, they will take fatty tissue and skin from your inner thigh and transfer it to your arm. So it's really just going to be like a big scar on your forearm. And if you're more curious, there are a ton of videos on YouTube that you can go find for yourself that talks about all that I just talked about. Well, in different manners of speaking, of course. I'm from Denmark and I don't know how they do it in other countries. I have no clue. I'm not smart. Teehee. What the fuck? Apparently I can't spell. I'm gonna cut all this out, don't worry. Should just sit here in silence for like a few minutes just and talk about nothing. How about that, huh? And go lay down. I can't because I have headphones on. God damn it, not headphones. I'm talking about microphones. But there are also other trans folk that you can go ask in support groups all over Facebook, and go Google it yourself if you're more curious. I suggest you do it just to get more educated on a few things, so you don't sound like stupid when talking to just so that you don't sound like a stupid face when you go talk to other people like me, other transgender, other transsexuals. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever you feel like, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.